when we're dealing with these people in America, excuse me, I think that as the collapse steamrolls and picks up steam, I believe they become more detached from reality, and they become more desperate. And I often quote Gerald Salente when he says, when people lose everything, they lose it. And I believe the policies that those people in office, in power, are enacting are desperate policies because they see the ramifications of the policies prior to that. And thinking that they're making it better, they are making it 10 and 20 and 30 times worse. And they believe that they are wise enough to see through all of the chaos and darkness, when in reality they're dumb as bricks, and they're helping to deconstruct the American empire. What have you to say on that matter?
What I always say to you, I agree with you 100%, Rashid. You've nailed it, man. You've said it. You mention a man who clearly is a mutual friend of both of ours. I greatly admire him, Gerald Salente, who sees this so clearly and saw it long before I ever did. I recommend to you and to your audience too, and I'm happy to share the contact information for her. There's a wonderful lady, the world's leading anti-nuclear weapons and anti-nuclear war campaigner and peace activist for the past 50 years, an Australian doctor, Polish family from Britain, settled in Australia. She's Australian to the core in all the very best senses of the word. They haven't lost their individuality and their freedom and their courage the way almost everybody in our country, God help us, appears to have done, at least in the public sphere. Dr. Helen Caldecott. She's published many books as well. And Helen got into the whole business of the insane dangers of nuclear power. Another big lie that it's clean. My God, it produces plutonium and radioactivity. It's the most lethal force in the history of the universe. And you have all these middle-class kids, including my own, who've gone through colleges, who have one or two, or God help us, how many degrees, right? And they say, oh, it's wonderful, it's clean energy, only because it doesn't crap like any sensible organic animal does in our natural organic cycle, which is an inevitable and healthy thing. Keep hygiene, but let's stick with the carbon cycle, thank you. The plutonium cycle is lethal. The plutonium cycle is not good for us. Right, and either weapons or supposedly civilian nuclear power. It's insanely dangerous. And again, who falls for this poisonous nonsense? The most educated, the most arrogant, the most elitist.
Mm-hmm.
And George Orwell predicted this would happen. He said, if there is hope, it will come from the bottom of society. In 1984, the people who were dismissed as the proles, the people who did not take themselves seriously, who did not read serious intellectual books, who did not read the New York Times every day to find what they were supposed to think, so that Thomas Friedman alone could tell them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're on much safer ground with Pope Francis than you are with Thomas Friedman.